Welcome, everyone, to It Tastes Different Gaming Appetizers, and we got more downfall of Microsoft for you in the news tonight. Microsoft's phoning it home by putting Copilot AI to putting that in your Xbox and other gaming. So Microsoft says Copilot AI is coming to Xbox to help you finish games because we're all just a bunch of lazy SOBs that can't finish a video game, and we need AI to spoon feed it for us, right? That's what we all asked for, is AI to spoon feed us a video game. Said nobody ever, So in this article, Microsoft revealed ways it's actively working to connect its Copilot AI into gaming. In a new video shared this week, use cases include having AI re-download a game or providing critical feedback on why you died in a multiplayer match. Instead of you just learning to play the game or figuring it out, you just need somebody to think for you and eventually act for you, right? Eventually you're just going to tell AI, hey, I need you to go harvest that tree in Minecraft for me. And it's just going to do it for you. You're just going to be sitting there talking to it, and it's just going to be doing it for you. It's going to be, I don't know. And they're also talking about elsewhere where AI could help players get deeper into games by providing direction on what to do next. When we were younger, we used to have the power guides, and now we have internet to help us when we get stuck. And next thing you know, you're just going to have AI to ask AI, how do I do this? How do I move forward in this game? Oh, I just push W. I push forward in the joystick. I didn't know that. AI, thank you. It's kind of saddening, but it's more of the downfall of Microsoft by phoning it home, right? They're going to put in features that, don't need anything from them because they already have Copilot. They're just going to put it in their system, and you're just going to be able to type into the chat using Copilot. How do I move forward in this game? So, like I said, because Copilot, if you didn't know, is owned by Microsoft. That's their product. It's in pretty much all of their products. If you have anything that they embed Copilot in all of it, hopefully you'll use it. So in this episode of the official Xbox podcast, Microsoft's Copilot AI was demonstrated in several use cases, including in ways to help players get ahead in games they've already started. Really. In one such case, a player who started playing Minecraft asked Copilot for directions on what to do. In Minecraft, are you kidding me? The AI assistant told the player to collect wood from the trees. Is that what I do? How do I collect wood? Copilot, tell me. Then Copilot directed them to move the gathered items into their crafting stash. Just don't throw it on the ground. I don't know what to do here. In another case, a player asked Copilot what to do now that Echo had been selected in Overwatch, only for the companion to provide direct guidance on whom to select next. Echo's taken, but Cassidy would be a solid pick for this team, the AI told them. His mid-range hit scan and Mercy's damage boost will work great on Ilios Ruins. Plus, you've done great with him on this map before. So now it's thinking for you and watching everything you do. Now you used to, when you were younger, your parents used to scare you with Santa Claus to tell you don't be bad because Santa Claus is watching you and you won't get anything for Christmas. Now it's AI. AI's watching you, so careful what you do. Lots of use cases on things like that. I don't know. AI is everywhere these days, right? You can't swing left or right without hitting AI, right? You just can't. You can't spit in any direction without hitting AI. I mean, just using Google search or any search engine gets you an AI response at the top of the list almost 90% of the time. It's great in some ways. In some ways, it just feels like it's too much in your face. And I don't know. We've had some forms of AI in gaming before, but not to like this. AI as far as like pathing and things like that. And I've heard of some of the choice-led games that use AI to help path through the choices and conversations to get more realistic responses. Stuff like that seems cool to me. But Microsoft is just, to me, Microsoft has been making horrible video game choices. And obviously, if this wasn't Microsoft, I'd probably say they were doing a good job. This is cool putting AI in your stuff. Because it's Microsoft, it just, to me, seems like more of Microsoft phoning it in. Because they already own all these products. We're just going to merge them together. We're going to put Copilot in here, and you can just ask it, how do I do all this stuff? Which, if I'm being truthful, that is a cool concept. But at the same time, Microsoft is just swirl in the toilet bowl in my eyes, for their gaming division anyway. They're obviously a very large tech company with all kinds of different solutions and cloud architecture infrastructures out there, operating systems, and all this stuff that Microsoft does. But their gaming division has really irked me the wrong way. So I don't feel like giving them kudos, even though this is probably a kudos worthy thing, putting AI into your games, in that aspect of helping people figure stuff out. I wonder how good Copilot would be at Elden Ring if you threw it in there and be like, why do I keep dying to my grave or whatever?
You'll say, get good.
Yeah, it'll say, get good. Or you know what? It'll probably just tell you to keep trying instead of, hey, you idiot. You just rushed right over to the first boss instead of going out and exploring the world and getting higher levels and better weapons and learning to play the game instead of just bum rushing the first boss. Or I just started Elden Ring. Why do I keep dying by the tree lord or whatever the guy's name is out front, you know? The Hell Tree Knight or whatever he is right out front of the gate. And you're just like, just go around him, you know? So, I mean, obviously, this is probably an interesting concept, and it's got some very good use cases, but it's Microsoft. I'm being a little harsh on them. But it is my opinion on that. It's going to start being in more and more games, obviously, because it's a good choice, right? If you can build AI into your tutorials of your games, that would help out a lot, right? You see a player that's doing something, the AI can always chime in and be like, hey, how about you try this instead or do this instead? Because a lot of the tutorials will just tell you what to do. You know, they pop up, they're like, hey, this is your first time getting into a fight. Hit A to swing your sword, or A to use your primary attack, or left mouse button and right mouse button does this and that. Instead, AI could be somewhat less intrusive, not more intrusive, but less intrusive, to where it's just monitoring you playing the game. And when it sees that you're struggling with something, it's like, hey, don't forget you can right click to do this, or left click to do this, or, you know, A to do this, or X or B, or whatever it might be on your controller. I see a lot of use cases for that being less intrusive tutorials and reminders and things like that. So I could definitely see some use cases for this, but, you know, let's talk to some people who are a little less harsh on it than me, probably. Shane, what do you think about Copilot being put in games and helping you to remember what you're supposed to be doing in video games, or to learn how to play a video game?
Yeah, I'm not liking it. I don't know. I'm old. I don't like change. So when they went to 16-bit, I about lost an egg roll. AI, as long as it's used properly in a game, I think it could work wonderful and great and all that. But I think it's going to get too involved into the game itself. I don't want my game to play for me. I don't want my game to, when you're playing a game and let's say you're getting your balls handed to you by the boss. Would you like to dumb down the difficulty? You died 9 times. That's as far as I want my AI in certain instances. AI for your enemy movement and things like that to be a little more natural, a little more realistic. Like you sneak up, you kill a guy, and somebody finds the body. That guy doesn't go, I better set the alarm on this. I want that guy to go, holy shit, Dave's dead, and run to the alarm. I want to see AI used in more of a natural way of evolution of the game. I don't know. I don't know enough about it, except for I don't want it to ruin my gaming experience. If I ask AI, because I can ask AI right now, I can type into Google here, say, hey, Google, how do I mine for gold in Minecraft? It's going to tell me. That's all I need. But I don't need it to interrupt me in my game. Look, man, you've died on this guy 7 times. You suck. Lower the difficulty down, or go back to the Smurf village and raise blueberries, or whatever the hell that shit is. That's where I want my
It's going to
AI
open the
to
menu
stop.
for you and be like, hey, do you want me to lower the difficulty for you? Just click the button.
Exactly. Yeah. And it puts a big arrow there, and you can hear the AI kind of laugh in the background, like loser. That's where I draw the line. But AI could be used in some really interesting, cool ways. But it's all an implementation. So however Copilot for gaming is utilized is going to really make it a great thing or detrimental. So whichever they go with is going to make or break it, or make people complain or not. AI can be wonderful. I mean, you can see your girlfriend's face on a half naked chick if you do it right, but that doesn't make it worth it. So I don't know. I'm not really an AI guy. I use it a little bit when I do our images for our videos, but I don't know enough about it really, except for XYZ this image to a background like this, and that's pretty much all I got for AI. I mean, I don't know enough about it. I'm not the tech guy. Let's go to Big Lebowski here in his robe with his tech jargon. Nick, what about you? You guys know more tech stuff than I do. I mean, how do you feel about your Copilot?
Welcome to
You gonna let him
Costco.
drive?
I love you.
Welcome to Costco. They don't even say that. They just say, "Where's your ID?"
Where's your ID? Yeah, I mean, Microsoft is bringing back Clippy, right? Bringing back Clippy to the Xbox ecosystem. Oh, I say you're playing a game. If anybody's familiar with Clippy, when you opened up a Word document back in the day, it'd pop up and be like, oh, I see you're writing a document. Like, yes, Clippy, thank you. Shut up.
Go away. How do I
go away? I just don't want it to be, you guys are right. I mean, it could be useful. I just don't want it to be intrusive. I don't want it to pop up. I either have the ability to turn it off, right? If you don't want to utilize it. I just don't want games to be like, it's always on, and then you're sitting there and because for me, when I'm playing a game, I like to figure things out, right? I don't want to be told how to play it, or if I'm doing if I'm doing something wrong, like I might eventually look it up if I can't figure it out, but I want to try to figure it out first. And I don't want some AI or some sort of tip situation where it's like, oh, I see you're trying to do that combo. This is what you're doing. You should do it like this. And, oh, I see you're trying to find your way to Bob's Village. Well, you're going the wrong way. It's this way. Let me show you the way. It's like, let me open up GPS for you. And it's like, no, I don't want it. I'm searching. I'm looking around. Like, I'll make it to Bob's Village eventually, right? Just leave me alone. It's like having someone next to you and they're just like dictating the game for you, right? When you're trying to play.
You don't want a Navi, whatever it is from Link. Hey,
no. Hey, listen.
Hey, listen. No, shut up. I don't want to listen.
I don't want to listen. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess it depends on the player, right? Some players do need that assistance and like that assistance when they're playing games. Like, I don't. Like, I like to try to figure it out. Again, for us, we're old school gamers. We have been gaming for years, back in the day when there was zero assistance, right? When maybe hopefully the latest edition of Nintendo Power might have a guide in there, or Nintendo Hotline or something. Other than that, I remember going to Walmart when I was a kid, and I flipped through the game books magazines that I didn't have, and then I'd write down the strategy for an area, on a piece of paper, because I didn't want to buy the magazine, but I needed to know how to get through this part. So I'd write it down and then take it home. But I mean, that's like, nowadays you can just Google that type of stuff. So I don't necessarily need it. I mean, it makes sense to incorporate it in there. PlayStation has this kind of as well. They have, it's not Copilot, but it's like they have that whole like guide system in there, where it has like videos or like little guides that you can look at for games.
I forgot that was even a damn thing. I remember that advertised when they brought up the PS5 originally. Yeah. You ever use it?
It's not intrusive, right? No, I've never used it, but I've seen it. Like if you're playing a game, you can go to like a little menu. It's like a little game guide menu, and it'll tell you how to get like through certain parts or like videos from other people doing it, right? So it's not like an AI type of thing. It's like other people will have posted or put up like little guides that show you how to get through an area, and you can watch those.
Is it Elden Ring message bad? Is it that bad? Like you're like, how do I get through this? Guys, like just jump through hole.
No, it's like I think it's
Fire
supposed
ain't
to be
real.
more descriptive, but yeah, put finger in hole.
Treasure below.
Treasure below. I think with videos as well, but it's like, and I think some stuff is sourced from the internet, but I've never used it. But again, I'm not the demographic for this. I'm just not.
I didn't even know that was a feature on PlayStation, to be honest.
It is. They put it on there like, what, a year ago? 2 years ago? Something like that. I can't remember.
No, I think it's been there a lot longer than that. Because I swear to God, I remember them talking about that when they announced the PS5 as one of the features that they were working on to allow you to
tips,
do those things.
Yeah. PlayStation guide and tips. Let's call it, I think. I did not know that existed. That's interesting. I have to go into that. But yeah, I don't. That's an interesting concept there.
But it's not intrusive on PlayStation, right? Like if you want that, you just hit like the PlayStation button and then you can bring it up and look at stuff like that. And it'll show you like in the area that you're at, right? It'll give you guides and tips for the area that you're at in the game. So it's not like you have to cycle through a whole thing. It'll say like, okay, you're here. Here are some like various.
To me, this shows more of the reason that Microsoft used to be ahead of their times back in the day with the Kinect, because you used to be able to talk to the Kinect.
Right.
Yep.
Wouldn't it be nice to be able just to talk to the Xbox again and ask for things if you want it? And so it's not intrusive, but you could talk to it like could the Kinect and say, ask it like, hey, I'm stuck, because the Kinect.
Is that what they were doing with the Copilot?
Searching stepmom stuck in dryer.
But you're not going to be able to talk to it. You're going to type still. They got rid of all their voice command crap when they got rid of the Kinect, right? Because the Kinect had cool concepts when you think about it. Like I remember, was it Mass Effect that you could talk to and tell your companions to like
Mass Effect, you could do that.
Yeah. It was and I'm like,
there were some other games too
that was a cool concept. Instead of having to remember a button command, you could say, "Hey, Varric, go here," or "Sorry, go here."
But you should still be able to do that if you're using, let's say, a headset. You got your headset down.
No,
double click.
It doesn't listen.
I'm saying you should be able to. There's no reason they can't set up a button command, because if you hit like double button on the Xbox button,
there is a reason, because there's jackholes like you guys who don't use headphones. They play games.
I don't use.
But no, if I wanted to, though, it could be right there. And if obviously, if that's a utilized feature, I would use my headset more. I just double click the Xbox button and then say, "Hey, Xbox, how do what's the easiest way to get to?" Yeah,
pulls up the Domino's app for you.
But yeah, actually, I think Kinect did that.
Yeah,
I think you could with Kinect. Yeah, you could order like Domino's, I think it was. You could order Domino's through the Kinect.
That's what I'm saying is like Microsoft was ahead of their time, because that was back on the 360 days with the Kinect.
Microsoft's always ahead of their time.
But then the
problem is they're bad about putting things out too ahead of time, right?
Well, they just abandon it is the thing. It's
that too, because it never takes on, because then like a couple years later, it comes out when the time is right and someone else does it. And then they're like, "Oh, this is cool." It's like, well, yeah, Microsoft did that years ago, but no one took to it.
Well, Ethernet was the big thing for Microsoft when they launched the original Xbox. Everybody was like, "What is this funky port?" I didn't know what it was, but that's the one that got me playing online. I'm sure it would have happened eventually, but that Ethernet cord got me online. And then PlayStation, I'm like, well, I got an adapter. I got a box I put on the back of your PlayStation. We can do it that way. And then everybody followed suit. Then the 360 came out, and it was HD DVDs. Okay, then all right. That. And then Sonny was like, "Yeah, but Blu-ray, we got this." But Microsoft, they were smart in a way. They were like, the HD DVD player is an adapter. You just hook it to your Xbox 360. It wasn't a part of it. So that saved him in a way. So I don't know. I mean, Microsoft doesn't make, out of 100 decisions, one is okay with Microsoft anymore. Unlike Ubisoft, none are okay.
Well, like in your example of HD DVDs and Blu-rays, like HD DVDs were not the superior option. They were the cheaper option for manufacturers at the time. Because Blu-rays, they had to like change their whole, because they were printing DVDs, and to print HD DVDs, it was basically the same setup they had. Whereas to do Blu-rays, they had to change everything, but it was better, marketing or support from Sony or whatever, or money in the bank or whatever they did to push Blu-rays, in which Microsoft did not in that same regard, right?
That's true. I can't remember if Blu-rays were
the same thing with like Betamaxes and VHS.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. I can't remember if Blu-rays were really being pushed originally by the movie companies or not.
It's whoever gave the biggest payday, right?
Yeah, because I know the HD DVD players came with like a free, I don't know, Bad Boys movie or some crap. So,
Yep. So yeah,
good times.
Yeah, so I mean, there's plenty of use cases for it. Like I said, I remember back in the Kinect days where you could turn your Xbox into a media center and you can just scroll through stuff by waving your hand. You're like, I don't want to. How about that one? Point at it, and it would open it up for you and things like that. And now that's gone.
Yeah, but Zenith TVs used to do that because my dad could wave his hand, hit me in the back of the head, and I'd go change that channel.
Yeah,
worked the exact same.
Yeah. My dad used to use a boot. He would throw a boot. My dad would just throw a boot and be like, oh, turn. Yeah.
Oh, shit. That was a left boot. That's volume up.
Yeah. So, I mean, there is probably good use cases for it. Just hopefully it's non-intrusive and not always on when you don't want it to be on, listening and tracking everything you do. Because we know what these companies like to do. They like to sell you as the product to other companies. They're like, hey, that Nick guy, he really likes these kind of games. We know all of his devices. Let's just send him a bunch of targeted ads for games we know he's going to buy. And he's going to have FOMO, and he's going to be buying 10 times more games than he used to because we're just filling his ads full of games we know he enjoys. Instead, the stuff that used to go under the radar won't go under the radar anymore. So, So I don't think we have anything else. Do you guys have any other thing you want to chat about this, or we need to shut off AI before it becomes sentient?
No,
I think it's already there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Because people intelligence has fallen off the map, so the artificial has got to rule.
That's why Nick's comment about welcome to Costco. Comancho is going to be the president next, and then we're going to have Brondo. Except for I think it's just going to be Monster. Our version of Brondo is Monster. Monsters, what plants crave.
And everything will be brought to you by Arby's.
Yeah. Because they got the meats and everything else.
And we got the sweats.
Yeah. All right. Let us know what you think down in the comments. Do you think adding AI Copilot to Microsoft consoles and games is a good idea? I think we can think of a lot of good ideas. Or do you think it's just more of the techno overlords coming to rule the world? What do you think? Let us know down in the comments. And we hope you enjoyed this episode and hope to catch you in the next one.
See ya.